On this edition of Starchwreck Not Live, we've got Pad, Klingons, phase pistol and phase pistol accessories, and a Star War. All this right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to another edition of Starchwreck Not Live. You'll have to excuse my curbed enthusiasm because I was really excited, or whatever, until right before I shot this, and it's because of you right there. It's because of you. And we'll get to that when we get to that part. So, but let's start off with some ships. Worked on a lot of different things this week, but I'm going to try to keep this brief. But anyway, we've got the USS Niagara, or the Niagara class USS Princeton, and a helpful tip to everybody, especially myself, is make sure you have enough of the custom color that you custom mixed for a different project, but then decided to use it for this project when it seemed like a good color, but then forgot what you mixed to make that color, especially considering I think some of the colors I mixed were custom made themselves. So that's an issue. So I got some of this painted with the primary hull color. So I will have to come up with something for that. I do kind of like the shading, or that you can see all the details, but that's not going to work, especially like down here where it's still primer gray. So that guy will have to be edited. On other Starship workings, on the D, starting to get the light blocking in there. I used liquid mask for the windows, so those should just peel right off. This is all black, and it's pretty... I just don't know if that's going to work. Hopefully, there you go. You can kind of see it's pretty light blocked, so that's what it's supposed to do. Light leaks are like air leaks on a ship. Nobody likes that. It's just unfortunate. So we're coming along with that, and then after this I'm going to paint the inside white, so that way all the light bounces around on the inside, and it'll add an extra layer of paint to make sure it's even more light blocked, so that it's coming along nice. And all the other parts, they're black, so it's really not that exciting. Here you go. Here's the top of the secondary hull. I started with tape, and then I was like, oh, liquid mask, that'll work. So and then if there's any touching up that needs to be done, that'll be pretty simple. I can just do black on the inside or whatever. But yeah, so that's on the D so far. On the Daedalus, or the Essex, I managed to get it cleaned up a little bit more. Still a bit more work to do. I'm having trouble getting these front windows cleaned up for some reason, but it's looking better than it did. Whoop, now it's flying around. Put the end cap on it, so it's looking pretty foxy. That's it for Starships in project, or in progress. Let's check out the props. Let's just start with the elephants in the room. The endgame tricorder. I managed to get the seam all working, and the electronics are installed, so now I'm just have this the front door plate glued in, and have to go about sanding and making sure that's seamless. The tricky part with that is now there's electronics on the inside, so you don't want to be too, watery or rough with it, so that'll be an interesting task. That's why I tried to get this all as good as it can be for right now before I start painting it. So there's that. But I did finish one part of the endgame tricorder. I'm pretty excited about that. That's the door. It's schmutz on it. So there's that. The door's done. There you go. It just fits on like that. Oh, look, it's done. Yay. Beep, beep, boop, beep. What's next? Let's talk about this thing. Who cares? It's a disco communicator. This is like the best kit out there, I think. All the different colors are different pieces. It's all separate. So this is all filler primer, so I'm trying to get rid of all the striations. I don't like working with 3D print stuff. I'd rather work with resin, even if it's... Well, maybe I'd rather work with a 3D print than bubbly resin. I don't know. It depends on the prop. Depends on how much sanding. So, but this one's not too bad. It has a lot of flat areas, not a lot of like tiny detail areas, you know, where you have to like get into crevices and stuff. So at least there's that. But so yeah, very, very cool. Got this one off Etsy. Oh boy, what's next? Pad. Like I said, pads. Just working on this guy. And it's I guess it's a trill pad or something. It was just in one of my boxes of things. So I didn't care that much to do that great a job on it, like get rid of this weird thing. I figure I could just cover it up with deco tape or something, but I think I need to paint this like a tan color, and I think this is red or has a jewel in it or something, and then find a graphic for it, but it's coming along nicely. It'll sit in the background. It's fine. Sometimes you just need those props to just put together to put something together really quick and not like focus on it insanely to where you lose your mind. I'm looking at you over there, Hero Face Pistol. Random other prop that I also had in my to-do box is random forehead of the week phaser, disruptor, pistol, whatever you want to call it. I always like this design. It's weird. I've seen a version that doesn't have the tail, and I just call it the tail phaser. And then there's the tail-less phaser, which is like this, which is the paint scheme I based that off of, is the one that doesn't have the tail. So the other one I found that did was like gold, and I didn't like it as much, so we're going with this one. And the top looks really shiny because I haven't done anything with it yet, and I need to fix that, and some other issues that need a little sanding before it's done, but the bottom's pretty much done. I painted the grip with wow, this does not look shouldn't look at these that close up. But the grip area I did with NATO black, so it looks a little rubbery, or you know, not as black as an area that's, I think this panel is supposed to be black, so I'll use black on black XF1 Tamiya or whatever on that. I kind of took some inferred, because I didn't run a scour screen caps, so I just kind of took some inferred paint schemes for the greebles on the back. So that one goes right there, just copper and gold, and copper on this one, or copper and black. So it's fine, whatever. It's going to sit on my shelf, and I'll play with it. Who cares? And then these are the other greebles that go on it, just some random things. The little bracket thingies go on the top, and these ladder thingies go on the side here. And there's, like I said, detail painting to do on that. And then here's the emitter for that guy. I tried to paint this blue line, and I sucked so hard at it that I think I'm just going to go buy some deco tape, which is what I think it originally was. Or maybe I'll just mask it and not be lazy, but basically it goes like that. So, fun forehead of the week laser disruptor phaser Polaron BS device, whatever, who cares. What's next for building? Alright, I think that's all the other stuff that I can think of. Yes, it is. So let's just finally get to these guys. I was so excited. This guy was coming along so well until I discovered that I did not sand this corner down enough. So, because I put the screws in it because I was going to have it on for the show so you could have it open up, but when I had done it solo before, it seemed to stay in place, but just not enough. So, got to take the Dremel and sandpaper and make this a little more curvy and take it down just a little bit more, and I think it'll be good. It'll be able to open properly, so I'll just have to deal with that. So that's the sad, disappointing thing on this guy, but I will get it fixed and get back on track. So I think the cowling is almost ready for the dark part. I think I noticed some area that needed a little fixing, but other than that, it's coming along. I decided, I'll have to check with the owner, that I think for the little internal rack, or this is for the other one, but I think I'm going to leave it unpainted because it's done in a cast, or cold cast aluminum, so when it's kind of polished up it looks a little metal, just so that when the power cell goes in there it doesn't like scrape the paint as much over time, because paint on paint and all that stuff. Did I even get that in there? Oh yeah, I'm looking through the camera viewfinder, so it's probably not as neat. So yeah, that's basically how that will go in there. Oh, well, you get the idea. That that'll stay on the top part. But, and yeah, it's like I said, there's the little power emitter. All the things are masked off, is to not get them silver. I painted them transparent clear on the inside. So that's how that guy is going. But fortunately, here, just go over there. Fortunately, the non-opening one is coming along very nicely, and you'll notice kind of two different types of silver. This one I'm doing, from what I've been told, and what seems to be accurate, like the accurate screen use paint job, which is kind of a dull aluminum and then with a flat coat on it. So that's kind of what's going on here. In this one, he wanted it like nice and glossy, shiny, so I used a duplicolor automotive silver. There we go. Better lighting. On this one, and let's hope everybody decides to cooperate and not fall over or something, but kind of get the idea. I have to say, I mean, I like the screen use look a lot, but the shiny look's kind of growing on me. It's kind of neat. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think this guy's almost done, I hope. I noticed a couple areas right here that needed fixing, so be hopefully one more silver, and then we can do the dark area. So that's it for the phase pistols. Hopefully they'll be done here next week, I would hope. Minus the electronics, that's going to be a whole issue. But I'm going to try to make it so they can, wow, that's helpful. They can be added after the fact, hopefully. Depends on how intricate the electronics are. What else? I think that's it for building props. Let's talk about things I actually finished. I know that's shocking even to me. First thing up is, we'll do ships first, the Columbia, and it turned out pretty good. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's going to even show up, but I think the tester's decal bonder did something weird to the paint, and it's not really that visible unless you really look down there, but like these little black dots like emerged from underneath or something like that. I don't know. So it's kind of disappointing, but it's really not too noticeable from a distance. But it's turned out okay. Looks good with the other NX class ships. Finished the Dreadnought, which was nice. And I was going to do more decal stuff. I wasn't really sure, more windows and stuff, but it's kind of unwieldy. I did screw the saucer to the secondary hull, and they're underneath here, just so the saucer wouldn't just keep falling off with moving it around. But I keep being paranoid that the nacelles are going to pop off, or one of them's going to pop off, and I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It turned out fine, I guess. It's cool. It's a Dreadnought, whatever. It's not perfect, but it looks decent, I think. I hope. So, yeah. USS Star Empire. And two more ships would be the Lochnar class. And I think that guy turned out rather nice as well. Of course, the kit itself makes it just super easy to make the ship nice. Like just hardly any work you have to put into it. So I feel like I'm cheating that the kit is so nice. Like all the windows are all cast in. So after I clear coated, I just used enamel paints for the windows, and then could just use thinner to wipe off any excess and stuff like that. The only area was right here where it didn't cast as well, so I just used a Enterprise decal sheet piece for that, but it worked out perfectly. Little arboretum windows or whatever. The only thing I do regret is I made such a big deal. I think I complained about this last video. Made a big deal about doing the shuttle bay. Oh, I want to take it off and put the doors in, which I have not done. And because I kind of glued it together so the saucer wouldn't fall off. But I kind of regret just not doing that and then filling this seam so it's just, there's not a seam there and it's more fluid with itself. But oh well, whatever. It's done. It looks fine. It's fine. Who cares? It's just going to sit on the shelf with the 1000 United Starfleet. And that's it. Oh, one ship. Hold that thought. All right. Last ship is, it's a Star Wars. The spaceship from the Star Wars. I don't know what that is. With the aluminum Falcon, Olfacto. There's Messy Workbench. But, yeah. Started... I'm trying to think when I started. Well, I built it a couple weeks ago, and then just started getting around to painting it, but it's turning out not too bad. This is the Bandai 1/144th scale Force Awakens version of the Falcon, and what an awesome kit. I love it. I'll probably get the Last Jedi version just because, and then I'll also get... I hope they come out with the A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back version in 1/144th scale. That would be pretty cool. Just to add to the Falcon fleet. And then, of course, they have the Solo pre-fit or not trashed version, whatever, the way it originally was coming out. But that kit has like an interior like back here and more details, as that escape pod. I still haven't seen the movie, so I guess it's an escape pod, whatever. But the kit looks really cool, so I definitely will pick that up when it comes out. But yeah, I used Vallejo white gray for the main body, and what else? Yeah, pretty much that, and then mostly everything else. All the colors are decals, the decals that included with the kit, and then I just chipped them up with the original hull color, just dabbing it on there a bit, and then everything else is enamel washes and things like that for all the rust and streaking and stuff like that. So thankfully it's snap fit, so I can take it off and actually paint the turret bays and cockpit properly. I just kind of dry brushed them, but someday I'll get back to that and then put people in them or whatever. So it's not done. I have to do all the little tiny markings and a dull coat and weather some of the decals a little more with the charring and all that. So, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's not perfect, but it'll work for me for a Falcon replica. Speaking of spaceships, though, and I just checked this morning, but I've been working all day. All that stuff at Wonderfest, I guess round 2, AMT, whatever they are now, they got the Discovery models, or they're asking people what scale they want them in. I can't believe they're going to make them in 3 scales, 1400, 1000, and 2500 for the same 3 ships, the Enterprise, the Disco, or the Disco Prize, and the Disco Shenzhou. I wish they would change the name to the Disco Shenzhou, because I'd be on board with that. But, so we'll see how that goes. And there's probably other information I haven't seen yet, so... But it's Wonderfest, so they always have wonderful things. That's why they call it Wonderfest. But yeah, that's it for finished ships. Now let's talk about finished props. I think I said 1 pad, singular, but I meant 2 pads. And just finished up the Renegades pad, which is a nice little one-piece thing right here. And just did all these with Tamiya paints. And a very cool looking graphic. The only thing I wish is hopefully he'll make, or I can get some the little pill-shaped oval decal things for the back would be kind of nice. So yeah, this nice little pad there. Pads are always fun. You can have 10 of the same one, and they can all be different with different colors and graphics and all that stuff. These guys, I think I showed them off. Yeah, I did. On the last show, and they're done. Got the boomerang all squared away, although we're talking about doing something different with the emitter, just because this one was a little rough, so we're looking at getting like a sharper one to put on there. So, but it turned out pretty nice, I think, and as well as the communicator. Get the blue going on. So, still has all the original functions and stuff like that. The key to the lid was putting a little of this super synthetic grease lube stuff in there, and that made it work perfectly. That I got when I was doing lightsabers to do on all the metal parts so that they were easy to remove and stuff like that. So there's that guy. And next thing is, oh, I guess this should have been in the work in progress because it's really not done, but if you haven't checked out Escape's props, do yourself a favor and go look it up. This is the Mark III phaser pistol, and this thing is so awesome. And I'm just hoping we'll get an electronics package for it, because look at all the stuff right here that's going to be so much fun. There's a graphic that goes here and here, and tons of buttons and stuff like that, and I have to find out where I put the buttons because I don't remember. So, but there's buttons in here, buttons in here. These two buttons will actually work. These ones would probably take a lot of work to get them to work, and of course a trigger. But the cool thing is, look at this. Little power cell, you can see the magnets in it. Zoop. Snaps right in, and same with the back. There's a little magnet and comes off. I think there's a graphic for in here, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'll have to look at it. If not, I'm sure I could make something or whatever. But so yeah, really fun, cool prop. It takes the Assault phaser and the Star Trek 3 phaser and some other elements and kind of puts them all into one, and I think it's just spectacular. So definitely one of my favorites. And then of course he has tons of freaking awesome custom designs on his site. I love everything that Escape's props makes. Whoa, spatial turbulence. Whoa, okay. Trying to think before the last three exciting things. I think that's it. So these guys I did in one day, so I didn't bother filling in a lot of issues like getting rid of that or some other things, because I just weathered the crap out of it. And of course this is a communicator from Star Trek 3, but I was looking for reference material, and I saw one on Richard Coyle's website, and it's like this exact version. Like, see how this looks like crap? Well, if you can kind of see it, it's cast in that way. So I just painted it the way it was, although this is painted black. And then, like, these are pieces of tape, like, they match perfectly to that one. So I assume this one was cast off that one. And I should have read the article more. So I assume that one's screen used, but I also don't know if it's a coil, so I have no idea. But, yeah, it turned out nice. It even has the, oh no, not the battery flashing light on my microphone. Hold that thought. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, change batteries. Anyway, so yeah. Star Trek 3 thing, like I said, I just, or it looked like the one, it's the same thing, so it's cast off that one, which is kind of cool, I guess. Didn't replace those are just the resin ones, so I just burnt the giant ship there, or burnt it with black airbrushing. Has the real shaver knob, or one that's it's very similar, so it turned out nice. It looks great from a distance, let me tell you. If you don't look at it very close, then it's fantastic. Just like this thing, which maybe I'll just put in pictures, is the Death Sting big pistol, whatever you want to call it, from originally from the motion picture, and then shows up in Star Trek 5 Next Gen, Because 3, they made the new ones. 4, 6, they made the new ones. So anyway, but it has kind of a long Trek life. And originally in the motion picture, it was all silver, or this part was silver. I don't know. You can find pictures of it online, but it was different paint. And I think the parts are a little different. Anyway, this part had a giant crack in it, and I was like, whatever, it's Klingon, so we'll just say it's a breach, react, or whatever, power source breach. I don't know. Like I said, it looks great from a distance. Let me put the pictures in. But yeah, I just kind of weathered the crap out of it with silver paint, and that's kind of what it looks like. But like I said, when you see it from a distance, it doesn't look as bad. So, that. But the fun thing with Klingon props is you can have fun with them and just, you know, have fun and just play with it and with doing cool weathering and stuff like that. But something you need to do precision for leads me to the last thing, thank God everyone's saying, of this particular item. And number 1 of 5 is now done. After, if you follow the Facebook page, you'll see the issue last week was the seam opened up when I was trying to put in the electronics, so I went back and reinforced that on all of them, but there you go. So, nice Voyager medical tricorder. This is, of course, well, obviously the Voyager version, but also Season 7 of Voyager because of this bar right here being the red and blue as opposed to the green version in First Contact. So there is that. And of course we have the always useful, turn that back off, hand scannerino in green and red. So pretty excited this guy's all done. Closing ratchet, all that stuff. But yeah, so that's what we got going on this week. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching all the way to the end. I can't believe you did that, but thank you anyway. Next week, we'll probably have more Enterprise D updates, hopefully the finished phase pistols, or at least finished static versions of them. The finished Forehead of the Week phaser, and maybe this. I'm hoping we'll knock the rest of this out pretty quickly, so that'll be cool to see how far I get with that. And I'm sure something else exciting will come in my way, and I'll have to work on that, because, you know, you start 4 things, and then I have to start 4 more things, so... Oh, how could I forget? One last dumb thing. I found some gold pressed latinum in my stash, so I painted it gold. Yeah, so... yeah. That's, you guys can just go right there. There you go. Oh, there we go, right there. Yeah. Anyway, okay, now we're done. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoy prop or model talk. And you check out the Facebook page for picture updates and sometimes videos of just the props without me blathering on ad nauseum, because I have nausea now from ad nauseing my nausea. So anyway, we're good. That's great. Guys, have a great week, and take care, do modeling, check out Wonderfest photos, and we'll see you next time for things and stuff, or not live, or whatever random thing that I put on YouTube or otherwise. So take care.